All right, so year 8, we're looking at making a Cubist sculpture similar to Picasso. So what I got here, this is by Picasso, and this is some of his Cubist paintings. So the idea behind Cubism, as you've hopefully discovered by doing the Google forms, is that if we look at an object that's three-dimensional like this, we can look at it from all sides, right? We can walk around it. Now, the issue for painting is that painting is flat and it's three-dimensional. So what Picasso tried to do with Cubism is say, well, I want to show this side, that side, this side, that side, that side, and the inside, and what's going under here, and what's in the springs, and everything. He wanted to show it all on a flat surface. And so what he did was, it's kind of like he's opening the whole object out and flattening it all out. Now that was the kind of technical side of it, but then it very quickly became this decorative aesthetic thing too, because the original Cubist paintings were like this, where they're very grey, because it was all about trying to do this pure Cubism thing. But then eventually it sort of went like this, where he sort of started making things decorative and colourful, and they just sort of became more designy and abstract. So he sort of went from the technical, rigid, I'm doing Cubism in a scientific way, to, you know what, these are actually pretty cool looking images, and we're going to make them a bit more decorative as well. So we're going to do a Cubist sculpture. So if you recall in my last video, I'm just going to hoik out some papers. I haven't got all the gear that I need. And this is, you know, reality filming. If you recall in my last video, I might just get Mr. Johnson to take over the iPad, and we'll use Miss Collis's desk. So if you move in on this, I drew a picture of a banjo on a chair. Remember I said do a chair and put something on it to make it more interesting. So it sort of looked like this, didn't it? Like I remember my banjo was sort of here. Now I'm drawing pretty quickly. Go back to that video where I draw a banjo on a chair and sort of put something on a chair in your house and draw it. Hopefully you've done that. But I've got to kind of pretty quickly draw this up. Okay. So here it is here, and then I remember the chair, well, it's my chair, so I know what it looks like. It sort of sits like that. And then I got another arm there, like that. And then the chair sort of sits like this. And then the legs were here. And we did a realistic drawing of, well, I did my banjo on a chair. You might do your soccer ball on a stool. You might do your desk chair and put your skateboard on it, or I don't know. It's up to you. You choose the object that makes things a bit more interesting than just drawing any old chair. Okay. Now what I'm doing here, this is really important, because in the drawing I was using a pencil. Now today I'm using a pen, but we want you to do it in. We want you to do it in pencil at home. Now that video I made at home in my sketchbook, and I've left it at home, and I've had to come into school for year 12. So we're sort of just quickly knocking this up for you so you get the idea. Okay, so you get this toned picture of a chair. Okay, and then what you do is we got to turn it into a Cubist image from which we can then make a sculpture. So you end up with that kind of thing. You want to zoom in on that. Now, it should be about that size. Like it's, you know, my hand can kind of cover it. It's not teeny weeny. It's not giant and big. If it's already is, that's fine. But I'm actually going to reduce this a little bit. So the next thing I want is, I've got this very straight picture of a banjo on a chair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove a lot of the excess paper around the edge, because I don't need it. It's just going to get in the way. Like that. Screw all that up, put it all over here. Now I've got my glue stick, and I've got a new piece of paper. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up. Now I'm going to cut it horizontally, and I'm not just going to cut it straight in squares. I'm going to work diagonally like this. And I'm going to cut it into about 6-7 pieces. So I'm going to go like this. And then I might change direction. And then I might come up here and I might remove some of this stuff, because I don't really need that paper there. Like, I don't need it, it's just background. So let's get rid of it. And I'm being pretty bold with it all, pretty rough. Do that. Whoa. I might cut the predictable bits so they become a bit unrecognizable. So how many bits have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want them too small. So maybe like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, before I glue them together, I'm going to do what we call a dry run. And nothing that should go together is going to go back the right way. Like, I'm not going to join that back together. We're going to wreck the jigsaw puzzle, so to speak. So I really like this thing here. I think that's important. I'm going to put that out there like that. I might put that sideways like that. I might put this bit on top. See, I'm already, like, I don't want to get locked into doing that. No, I don't mind that kind of thing. And that's going to be too hard. So I might move that to there. And I might move... There's some decisions you got to make. You know, it's a tricky thing to do. Actually, yep. I've got that, and I've got that. And then I'm going to do that. Now that's kind of the beginnings of my image. See, I'm thinking that I've got to be able to make it. Like, it's got to be a thing. It's got to be a thing that I can make, and it's going to be about as big as this tissue box, and it's got to stand up. So as you plan it, think about it having a base and a top. Okay. The next thing I do is I just start gluing things down. Just glue them down pretty rough. You know, take your time to fix it as you go. Just get things in place first. And, you know, move quickly, because, you know, we all know that the glue stick at the moment, the glue will stay wet for a little while and allow you to shuffle things around a bit. So I'll start to move things around and glue things down. Where did I put that? That didn't, I wanted that underneath, didn't I? So it's okay if you lose part of your drawing, if you cover things up. See, that was actually meant to join, so I'm just going to gently tilt it that way. That's pretty cool. So I'll just sort of move that there like that, and I'll just move that way. And I remember I was going to do that, join that up again. So just sort of constantly comparing and checking and comparing and checking about there. Now I can either throw that out there. See, I've changed my idea as I go, and that's allowed. I'm going to chuck that out there because that kind of, I need a balance. It kind of looks like it's going to fall over. It needs something out this side. Life's all about balance. So that can go there. Now at this stage, I can kind of see that that's going to be a kind of a cool looking sculpture of a banjo on a chair. Very much Picasso-y looking style. So what I've got to do now is I've got to join the bits back up. Now I'm going to go back later and fix all these bits with the glue, right? I'm going to turn this into a really cool artwork. But for the moment, I'm actually now going to draw back into it because it has to make sense. So I might finish this off, join that there. Where's that going to go? It's going to go off the side. Can you see how I'm doing these bits here? And like here comes my base. And I kind of just join all the bits back up again. And I reckon I can turn this into a sculpture. Now I'm going to do my shading again, because what I want to start to think about, now it's a bit of a skill, but I want to start to think about what's in front and what's behind, and what's that way and what's that way. Now some of these decisions you'll make as you go when you're making the sculpture, like there's the banjo neck, and I'm going to shade in behind there like that, make that pretty dark. I'm actually going to bring that down to there. I'm actually sort of drawing a shaded, toned image of what I think this sculpture is going to look like. And it's really important that you bring these bits, they don't make any sense anymore, right? They're the wrong thing in the wrong spot, and that's the whole idea. The whole idea is that when people, you want people to look at it and go, oh, I think that's a guitar on a chair, or is it a banjo, or is it even a chair? I don't know. And kind of just leave people guessing a little bit. Always good to leave people guessing. Don't give your viewers all the answers. And you know, like, I reckon I could turn that into a sculpture now. There's the base. What do you reckon, Mr. Johnson? Do you reckon you can make that into a sculpture out of cardboard?
Well, it makes sense. Now I've got a base.
Like a base.
We've got the legs that's connected all together.
Yep. These will be voids. Like these bits you'll be able to put your hand through. Some of these are just voids.
Yeah.
So think about what's going to be a void. And that's stage 2. Once you've got that, then I reckon we'll build these at school out of cardboard. So get this done this week. Get this stage done this week. You might have to do it a couple of times. You might have to sort of have, like it's easy for me. I'm an art teacher and I'm, drawing and stuff. Have a bit of a go. If it doesn't work the first time, maybe do 2 or 3 versions of it. Like try it 2 or 3 times, okay? And give it a bit of a go, like some dry run first. Like I already had a go here and it didn't work. See that? Like there's my other bits that I chopped up. So maybe, what you can do is you can put your picture against the window, and you can trace back over it and copy your picture a couple of times if you have to do that. All right, we're really excited to see you guys come back to school, and hopefully you'll all come back with these drawings done, and then we can start sculpting. See you then.